And now I start talk about some research about my PhD thesis. It's about the predator-prey model. So in this case, it's a new start about the refugee strategies and the nonlinear feedback reproduction. And start, I composed my model in OD, only time, and later extend to the diffusion about the PDE. So, in natural ecosystems, interaction between organisms and the environment are shaped by ecology, an epidemic factor about disease is about the structural stability of local communities. So, the presence of the future disease is spread of population can significantly alter predator-prey dynamics. So, in this star is about the eco-epidemiological model. This model integrates ecological process about reproduction, competition, predation, about a strategy of about preserve the species. But it includes the disease, about the epidemiological dynamic, is about the prey, about the susceptible and infect and recovery. So this extends to the analysis about the economy, activity, biology activity, or anything about the country. So the Peruvian and live in the camp. So the stability of the species is very important to about the ecosystems for my community. So about introduce the spatial heterogeneity, modifying predation and disease transmission. So the choice of the predictor function and response is crucial. It's very important to show the more representative this interaction. So about the feedback, nonlinear is better. Probably the exponent about the entry number or fractional number. So in this work, investigate and the epidemic model incorporating a disease affecting to the prey population and partial refuge of protecting some prey from predator. And the feedback is the prey growth rate. So the most common is about the holistic reproduction, but it's another refuge response. So I study about the two species with the predator and prey. And the prey is the susceptible and infected. So, and the predator is can hunt above this species, but the fox can choose with hunt first, probably with the susceptible with the take on some disease or a early disease, or better is more slow moving about the effect of the prey. So about the different, about the feedback effect is very different about the impact, how the velocity about the growing. So the feedback mechanism with the Q equal to is more fast and tall and realistic. It's not symmetric. It's very important about the behavior of the reproduction of the population. So this study modifies the mathematical model proposed for Lazaar with the 2023, where they compared 3K biological spec about the cis model about the trait and the differential fusion coefficient with the susceptible and infect rate reflect of the disease and behavior patterns. And finally, the in competition among predator due to research between the two prey types. Is more realistic representation about the prey disease dynamic because every species suffering with any disease is more impact about the extinction of some point about the convivence about the disease. So this is my system about the way of diffusion with the reproduction and the feedback of the dynamic extension and the collaborate with the prey, with the coefficient, with the strategy of refugee. So this is covered. Is the very important about the mortality, or natural mortality, or the disease mortality, or the mortality about the competition between the predators. without the feasible factoration about the positive because the space is positive always. So we'll stand on this part. So it's the formula about the well passes because my system satisfies about the locally Lipschitz continuous. The system with the initial condition has a unique solution with values in R3. And bound is the more important about the stability. So about computation simulation, about the some parameter with the condition of the population, is very important about the stability, about the numerical. It's very so fast, it's part about the behavior in the time. So it's the combined and coexistence about the population and their behavior of the weights with the stability and the time. And the space phase, the predictor frame, is very important because visualize about the behavior at time. And this is very important about the refugee coefficient is so high because it's more important to the preserve of the prey population, but the predator population suffering with the no hunt. So, in another point about the OD model, it's very important about the sensitivity of the system about the prey-refugee coefficients because exist two coefficients about the susceptible and the effect prey. So in this part about the surface, about the two coefficients because guarantee about the existence of the steady points or the steady state. So it's very nice to the analysis about numerical method to the compare with the Powell method because the stability and compares the solution. So it's very nice about the extend to the Rex diffusion. This model will extend with about the considered about the Lewisian sublet space. So with the usual norms, with the spatial measuring function, such as with the norms. So this is the formula about the well posits with the domain. So I'm considering with the diffusion, with the Laplace, with the standard divergence, because this part represented with the chemotaxis. The chemotaxis with relation with the predator move in direction of the prey, and the prey escape in opposite direction to the predator. So it's very interesting about the order because the synthetic of the this space is very scientific and very high solution and reaction very fast. So I considered with the elliptic equation for modeling for the other this other reaction with the species. So our the reaction, the model is the same with the OD model. So I need to prove about the well process. I considered some lemmas and theorems because warranty with the existing solution. And so I get with this system exists a unique non-negative classical solution with H condition in this space. So about the extensibility criterion, warranted with the log time. So in this part, I use the semi-group technique and start with get with the my solution and extend the weak solution and finally get the classical solution with the sense with the local and the global. And so what this solution was softly smooth and non-negative solution resistant and also existent a constant n on depends with the H1, H2 with the impact of the protector. So they might see this point. With another lemma, it was my system and internal initial condition about the time. What is about the sublet embedding about the warranty with the well process. And I get this result because I need to the solution and the classic solution. So, and another theorem is with the four lemmas and collection I can warranty with it exists with a unique global classical solution with my model eco-epidemiological model. So in this space. So, and this proof is very important because we start with a very solid embedding and technique about the semigroups. And finally, my system, in the sense, is class stable, in the sense they exist at one constant dependently on the LP norms on the natural data, on my domain and my parameters. So it's very important because with another analysis is about the numerical, about the Shin volume fields. So it's guaranteed the converse, consistent stability on the solution about the analysis that will process and the numerical, with probably another technique about the difference method, difference finite difference, or pin elements methods, and work with the machine volume methods. So it's very nice about the proof of the whole process, but I get with the existence with the numerical solution by finite volume methods. And so I start with the computing about the simulation. We'll start some as model collecting of the species with this column. The first column is about the susceptible prey, and the second column is about the infect prey. And the finally third column is about the predator. So the first line is about the species, and the second line is about the order. So it's more concentrated about the species, it's more other concept with the moving. So about the prey, sense this order of the predator and escape in an opposite direction. So, and this part is very important because about the time and space is considered with the collaborative of the spaces for escape and protection with the species. So it's about susceptible or infect. And this part is so more complemented with the another career about the biology, ecologists, and medical doctors. Because we are not probably with economics person because the multidisciplinary about the impact with the economic activity, the stability of the camps, with the mountains is so important for me because warranted the stable and equilibrium biologics. So in this part, with the predator concentrated with the sign of the center of the prey, and the prey escape. With another part about the prey with a high coefficient about the refuge, protect, and not harm about the predator. And so we'll start about the ideology of the predator species with the all, but with the infect rate is more effect than with the susceptible. When this part the concept is about the no fear and no sense about the oh Lord of the predator is better, but is the some community of the professional with the oh how do to the preserve or the stability of the coexistence with the spaces. So only considered with the Newman from boundary homogeneous equals zero. So I want some conclusions about the feedback application in the mechanisms with the prior use of growth choice and specific competitions for the food. About the effect stabilize on the system and prevent collapse to the overpopulation. So this part is very nice to analyze the well process and the numerical solution too. But the component simulation is very nice because visualizes about how the behavior on the time. Our numerical result was low amplitude to isolation and simulation. Only OD model is the same extent about the diffusion model. About this impact, hey parameters about the transmission rate and mortality is so important for the eliminated disease, but with some population about the prey, it's very important to prevalence with the predator. Is the consequence about the stabilize or the stabilize of the predator prey systems. And then finally, on the birth control, the chemotaxis can suppress disease if predator respond to the infection force. So it's about what prey prefer. It's about the susceptible prey or infect prey, with some topics about the instinct response to the hunt, with alternate mobility about the chemical barriers could be used with the ecological management, and that's very nice. So it's about thank you so much. It's about the Tupanach command, about the natural language of my country, about the Andean camp.